Give me a job. Give me a job. I promise that I'm qualified, so please don't be a snob. Give me a job. Give me a job. If you don't give me a job, I'm going to scream.
Hey everybody, welcome to a whole new year of Give Me a Job. We're really excited to be back. I am Harper Atlas.
And I'm Judy, and we are here to talk about design, tech, diversity, and entry-level experience. Harper, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Just having my coffee and getting to chat with you, and got a snuggly purring cat next to me. So yeah, no complaints here.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm really, really good. So a few things in my mind, like today, it's the first day officially Biden is the president of United States of America.
Yay!
So yeah, congratulations to everyone. And anyway, but I'm really good. I'm really excited. It's a new chapter, new year. Hopefully, like all the positive will be spread in the air, and except of the like negative and hate. And
we can only hope.
True. Also, did I share with you that I got the best mug ever?
No way. Where did it come from, Judy?
From you, actually. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Your dad, thank you. Your dad, he made this specific to me. Like it's custom made. Such a nice mug. My favorite color.
Yeah. Can you describe it for the folks listening?
So it's my favorite color is pinkish and purple-ish. So Harper, she know it. So she asked her dad to make me a mug that have my colors. Also, you have such a beautiful mug. Can you share it with the?
I do, since we're highlighting things my dad has made. This is my dad mug, my Steve mug, as I call it. That's my dad's name. It is blue on the bottom, and then he did some designs and whatnot. Then it's a lighter blue and black on the inside. It's my favorite Steve mug. If you haven't, thank you. If you haven't picked up on this already, my dad is a potter. And so I grew up with just custom pottery all the time, and didn't realize that that's like an expensive thing because we just always had mismatched handmade things. But yeah, my dad's a potter. He is great. He and my mom are mostly retired now. But if you would like your very own Steve mug, or a Deb mug for that matter, that's my mom, then shoot me an email at hello@harperatlas.com and I'll connect you with them.
Amazing.
Shout out to my parents.
Yes. And I think like everyone like need to have their own mug. I think it's like personality. It shows like it's connecting, like, it's connection between me and the mug. So yeah. So I think
I'm so glad you like it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Harper, what are we diving into in this quarter?
So to point out why we said quarter real quick, we're still like figuring out how we're existing in the podcast world and like life in general. But we think, or have decided, that we're going to do like quarterly seasons, I guess, where we dive in and so to certain things, and then we take a break every quarter so that we don't burn ourselves out, as we talked about a lot last year. And I think everyone is on board with not burning yourself out. So we're going to do that. We're going to try. But yeah, this year, or this quarter, we are going to dive into accessibility and inclusivity in the tech world and why they're so important. That's something that I am really excited about and have been learning a lot about. And I think also talking about the difference between accessibility and inclusivity, both the like official definitions and then our own personal understanding of those things. We are going to talk about no code tools. Judy specifically will talk about those because that's her jam. We're going to talk about junior designers and junior designer positions, and the expectation versus the reality of what junior designers are capable of and experience levels, since we've all seen the like memes about we want a junior designer who's fresh out of college and has 10 years of experience. So we're going to talk about that. Judy, what else are we going to talk about?
I think that's pretty much like in our mind. If you guys have any suggestion, please let us know so we can like talk about that. Speaking of junior design, so it's a new year. I think a lot of opportunity it's showing up, so we can apply. But Harper, what people are asking for junior?
So, like I said before, and pretty much everyone I think knows, at least in this space, the job listings for junior designers a lot of times are like 3 years of experience, but a junior designer. And when I see a job listing that says they want a junior designer, but they want like 3 to 5 years of experience, to me that just says we want someone who is more senior, but we don't want to pay you what you're worth. So that's something I thought about a lot. And I think words have meaning, and job descriptions, while oftentimes aren't super accurate because they are frequently written by HR people, which is not to say that people in the HR world don't know what they're talking about, but someone who works in UX or design is going to know more and more specifics about what that job entails than someone who's in HR, just because they don't need to. But a lot of junior design positions, they want people who are experts in something. And I just don't think that that's a realistic expectation, that junior designers are junior designers. They're starting out. And sure, they might have some experience, and they should have some experience, but there's also something to be said for learning on the job and not necessarily taking a chance on a junior designer, but trusting them to learn and grow and in their abilities. And in a lot of ways, getting someone who is more junior is better or more interesting, because you do have space to mold them and teach them things that work for your company and your product. And ultimately, like, we all started out somewhere. So everyone who is now super senior expert UX royalty, they all learned somewhere. They didn't know everything from the moment they were born. And I think that that's really important to remember.
Here's the thing. Most of people, or most of the company, they're asking for juniors to do illustration, to have background in code. Not any code, they're asking not only HTML, CSS, they're even asking for JavaScript and like Python, which is like really deep in front end. And some people they're asking as well for back end. I think, I'm not quite sure, but I think Python, it's like one of the language in back end, but again, I'm not quite sure. But when I'm hiring junior and I'm asking them to do tons of things in the same time, I think that's not fair. Literally, that's not fair.
Yeah, agreed.
Why I'm gonna be doing the engineer job, and why the engineer job's gonna do mine?
I think a lot of that ties into wanting someone to do it all, so you don't have to spend as much money or something. I don't know. I think like smaller companies and startups, you're going to do more. That's from my experience talking to people. Obviously, I don't have experience working because I still haven't been hired, at least not in a full-time position. I am working on not 1, not 2, but 3 freelance projects, which is
At the same time.
At the same time. I'm tired, but it's fun. I'm learning a lot, and it's great. But you do end up doing more, right, when you're working at a smaller company or a startup. But I don't think it's fair to expect everyone to be this magical unicorn who knows how to do everything, because that's just not realistic.
I think I don't mind. Okay, so I don't mind to do more for the startup, especially if I believe in this company. But the company should ask for UX engineer, not for UX design. You know, like if I'm gonna be asking for this designer or this UX designer to start coding in this situation, I'm gonna be UX engineer. Also, when I just remember something. When I first joined Lambda School, So I don't have background in art. I'm not like you, but I can make things done. Um, so when I first joined, I asked them like, do I need to have graphic design background? Do I need to have any kind of art background? Because I don't.
Hmm.
So the answer was all the time, no, you don't. You are UX designer. But then reality, when I start to apply for jobs, everyone started asking for art background. And I was keep thinking, why do I need art background if I'm UX design? Like I'm not product designer. I'm just I'm now we're gonna be just talking about UX designer. Why do I
Hmm.
need to have art background? I need to understand like the journey for this person to go from A to Z. Uh, but I think like they need to have someone if they are looking for a product designer, they just need to ask for a product designer. But in these days, they're asking for too many things for one person. I believe it's too much, and especially now because of the pandemic, people are taking advantage of that. Yes, a lot of people lost their job. Yes, I need to get hired because I have responsibility. I have things I need to pay, but doesn't
Hmm.
mean that I'm superhero woman-ish thing. I don't know. I'm just like a human being. I'm a normal person that need UX job.
Hmm.
So don't ask me to do a million things at the same time. It just like this is my just like very personal opinion. I might be very wrong in that, but that's how I'm just thinking about.
Yeah, I think that your opinion and your feelings are totally valid. I mean, of course they're valid. They're your feelings and your opinions, but it is a valid criticism of the design and tech world as it is, that there's this expectation for people to be unicorns and superheroes and be able to do it all, and I just don't think that's realistic.
Mm,
And I'm a big fan of setting achievable goals. And because
yeah.
if you set achievable goals for yourself and your employees, then you're going to have happier people. Like no one wants to be constantly striving for this unachievable goal, and then you just feel like a failure, or at least I
Mm,
do. And so I think it's really important to set reasonable expectations and achievable goals, because ultimately happier people are going to do better work. And so it doesn't necessarily matter that this person can't do all of the things when they can do like the things that they got hired to do and that they studied to do really well.
mm.
And that's, I think, much more important than having someone who can do it all. I would much rather have someone who can do one or two things really, really well than someone who can do a lot of things in like a mediocre way.
I agree. And I do have a question for people
Okay.
who are listening to us and for you as well. I've been seeing like lately a lot of UX designer who are studying as well front end and like full stack.
Hmm.
So the question came to my mind, is that because like we don't feel that we are good enough for the company? So we're trying to improve our skills. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong thing. It's a great thing that you improve your skills, but is it because that we are feeling that we are not good enough? That we might not get hired, like we are trying to achieve the superhero person. um, so yeah, I would love to know what you guys think about that, and I would love to know your opinion as well, Harper.
Yeah, I would love to know people's thoughts on that as well. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. And it might be people who are like, okay, well, if I'm a UX designer, but if I know how to code, that sets me a step above other people, because the UX world is getting progressively more competitive. And and so if you have these extra skills, yeah, it absolutely makes you more hireable. And I think for some people, they just like the challenge. Like I know our friend Kyla, who we interviewed on the first episode, just loves coding. So
She's
that's what works for
amazing.
her. Uh, but I think that my opinion is like I want to relearn how to code because I enjoy it. but I don't want to do it as my profession. I want to do it just for the sake of my own knowledge and understanding, because I think having a basic understanding of how code works and the parameters that I can work within, or that devs can use, then I will be a better designer and a better teammate. But I don't think that means that I need to be able to code every website or app from scratch, front end and back end, because that's not what I do. That's not why I'm here. And I just love the UX process. And so I think, yeah, my opinion is like, do what you want, but make sure you're doing it because it's what you want to do.
Exactly. This is amazing answer. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you. And that led up like to my next like concern. I have a lot of question and concern today. I'm sorry, but
don't apologize. It's great.
So we are talking much about like, you know, UX designer, junior and senior. Now the question is, what's really the difference between junior and senior? Let's start with your opinion first.
Yeah, this is something we've talked about a lot. I think the difference is just experience, right? I don't think that a senior has more value as a person or an employee than a junior. I think it just means that they have had more time to practice their skills and hone their skills and their craft. And so just like anything, the more you do it, the better you get. And I don't think that means that a senior designer is perfect, because I don't believe that perfection actually exists in any realm of life. But I think that, yeah, like there's the phrase practice makes perfect. And I think practice makes better, that the more you do something, the better you get. And the more problems you solve, the more skills you have to solve other problems. And so I think that's the main difference between a junior and senior, is that seniors have just had more time to hone their skills and should absolutely be paid more and have more responsibility. But I don't think that companies who are hiring only senior designers are, how do I phrase this? It just doesn't, it's not leaving room for growth, right?
Yeah.
It's creating a very like closed community that isn't inclusive or accessible for new people and new thought processes and experience. And that's like my only issue with the junior versus senior world, I guess, that everyone wants a senior, and which is understandable, but there's not. It's creating this like box around the design world, and again is setting an unachievable goal for people who are getting started. But what are your thoughts on it?
I absolutely agree with everything that you said. It's so true. Now I do believe that, okay, so we work in tech world, and every day everything is changing. Like what I know today, it's completely different than what I taught like yesterday or what I learned yesterday. So every day we are learning something completely different. Like where in the world like we be able to build website without code? Like, wow. So I think the main difference, in my personal opinion, I think the main difference between senior and junior, we both are junior because everything we have something new to learn. But the senior, they have more leadership skills versus the junior, they still like have opportunity to improve. So that's just like my opinion about it, because I do believe like we both are learning every day, every single day there's something new added to our like knowledge, or in this word, like I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, that's my thought. We would love to know your thoughts. What do you guys think the difference between senior and junior? Share it with us. We might both be wrong. We might both be like right, and maybe Harper she's right, I'm wrong. That's completely fine. We would love to know your
Or
opinion.
vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love to hear from you. So that's like we dove into a little bit of things, some things that we've been thinking about, but that's where we're going to leave it for today. I think it's a solid place to start and end. But we would love to hear from you. We are on Instagram at Give Me a Job Podcast. We are on Twitter at Give Me a Job Cast. You can send us an email at givemeajobpodcast@gmail.com. I am admittedly terrible at remembering social media exists, and so I am not as active as I maybe like should be in terms of posting for us, but I will try and be better, at least marginally. And in the meantime, yeah, let us know what you think. We would love to hear from you. As always, a very special thanks to McKinley and Asher of MLEMON for writing our theme song. We will be releasing the full version of that song. I promise. We've been promising it for a while, and we do keep our promises, even if they're a little delayed.
Yeah.
So yeah, give us a shout. Thanks for listening. Whoever is out there, Happy New Year, and we'll catch you guys next time.
We'll see you guys, and remember, something big will come to you. Don't lose hope. You are great. See you guys next time. Peace.